Pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the national news broadcast. We are coming to live from Rupavahini's news studios. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
Good evening, I'm Clifford Richards. First of all, we take a look at the headlines.
The Alpitia Pradesh Sabha election will be held tomorrow. The President instructs the officials to gather information regarding the paddy stocks in Ampara and Polonnaruwa. The third review of the IMF credit facility will be held soon. Wholesale price of vegetables in Dambulla decreased rapidly. Tilman Silva says that the government's aim is to create a wealthy nation and a beautiful life. Sajid Premadasa pledges to implement a strong economic policy. Improved multi-day fishing trawler and a multi-purpose vessel were launched. 10 Pakistan police officers killed by a terrorist attack. Sri Lanka A team qualifies for the finals at the Emerging Teams Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament.
Now for those and other stories in detail. All arrangements have been made to conduct Alpitia local government election successfully tomorrow.
Well, voting will be held from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and 55,643 voters have been registered to vote. That's in 17 local government divisions. The election will be held in 48 voting centers. The number of registered postal votes is 1,576. 8 political parties and an independent group are in the contest. The number of council member posts stands at 28. The counting of votes will be carried out at the concerned centers when the polling will be over. Results will be declared under the supervision of the Galle District Secretary. Ballot boxes have been transported to the voting centres by now and special security arrangements are also in operation. The elections to the Alpitia Pradesh Sabha were held after the other local government institutions since elections could not be held till the completion of the official term, and accordingly the Elections Commission has taken steps to conduct the election this year. The Commissioner of Elections, Saman Sri Ratnayaka, says that the voting will be started at 7 a.m. tomorrow and will end by 4 p.m. He also said that the local government elections will be held under the mixed proportional representation system. Accordingly, political parties and independent groups who are contesting the election will be included in the polling card provided to the voter. He said that the voting has to be done in accordance with the candidate forwarded by the concerned division. The candidates of political parties or independent group who receive the most number of votes will be elected as a member of the council in the division, and the number of members will be decided on the number of votes received by each political party in the concerned local government division. Galle District Secretary N.A. Dharmasiri says that the number of 600 officials have been engaged on duty for the election. At the same time, all security arrangements being made. Ballot boxes were issued to the returning officers of the voting centres today, and they'll be taking steps to conduct the voting tomorrow in these centres.
President Andhra Kumar Disanayaka has given instructions to the officials of the Ministry of Agriculture today to gather information regarding the paddy stocks in Ampara and Polonnaruwa districts. The President also said in a meeting held in the President's office that changes will not be made in the controlled price of rice in order to gain undue profits. Officials of the Ministries of Agriculture and Trade and Paddy Marketing Board participated in the discussions. Price of rice and the current situation was extensively discussed in this meeting. The President also gave instructions for immediate actions to be taken in this regard. President also informed to get information regarding loans obtained on bonds by rice mill owners and stocks maintainers. The harvesting is being done in Ampara and Polonnaruwa districts these days. Officials have been also instructed to inspect those paddy stocks and keep an account on them. It has been revealed that rice mill owners and stock maintainers have so far not been registered. President also instructed the concerned officials to register them immediately and open a database about them. Secretaries of ministries and officials participated in this occasion.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, says that it will be continuously supporting Sri Lanka, and that's in order to prepare a better future for the people. Well, Kristalina Georgieva says on the X account that IMF remains committed to supporting Sri Lanka, and that's continuously.
When the new government took office not too long ago, I led a high-level team to Colombo to discuss to engage with the authorities. And we had some very, very productive discussions with the new government and the team there. And the discussions are continuing this week during the annual meetings. Now, there was broad consensus, I would say unanimous consensus, that Sri Lanka, which was staring at the abyss in 2022, has come a long way in terms of undertaking reforms which have led to some hard-won gains. As you can know, you'll note that growth has been positive the last 4 quarters, inflation is coming down. So there was consensus that the new government, from the new government, that they would like to safeguard and build on the hard-won gains under the program. Now, under the program, we have elements which address some of the priorities of the new government, including in terms of social protection and so on. But the details on the program continuing, and they'll be happening this week in Washington. And we are encouraged by what we've heard so far, and hoping that we can move fast with the towards the third review, which will come up soon. Now, in terms of there was a question on the debt restructuring. They have reached agreements with the official creditors, and they've reached an agreement in principle with the private creditors. The next step would be to reach a formal agreement with all creditors, and that's a big step forward. And of course, that's not the end. There's a lot more work to be done in terms of continuing with the reforms, because a long way to go before you're on a path of strong and sustainable recovery. In terms of the macro-linked bonds, this is something which is a negotiation between the country's creditors, the country's advisors, and the creditors. We don't get involved in the kind of instruments that they negotiate on, and so on and so forth. What we are concerned about is whether these instruments and the restructuring they reach are, one, that consistent with our program targets on debt and so on, and that there's comparability of treatment across creditors. So that's something which the country works on. Now, you're right that these macro-linked bonds have become popular, and so it all depends country to country how the creditors and advisors go about it. So it's not for me to say that this is going to be the future of all debt restructuring. It varies from country to country. We've seen plain vanilla bonds being exchanged, and you have these kind of bonds in other countries. Now, there was one question on specific tax measures there. I mean, that I don't want to go to the detail, because those are things being worked out in the context of discussions which are ongoing right now. Hopefully, we'll move along these negotiations over the next few weeks in a more targeted way. Thank you.
Vegetable wholesale prices have rapidly decreased at the Dambulla Economic Centre at present. Farmers and traders say that they are unable to get an income sufficient even for their expenses due to this reason. Although vegetable stocks are reaching the centre in abundance, attendance of wholesale buyers has severely decreased. The traders say that since the vegetable stocks filled up there for days, the considerable amount of vegetables are in waste. The traders further say that they are unable to sell them at lower prices since they have to bear many expenses, including transport, salaries and production costs. Green chilli, brinjals, tomatoes, cucumber and upcountry vegetables as well as are sold about 50 to 100 rupee per kilo at Dambulla these days.
General Secretary of the Janatha Vimukti Peramuna, Tilwan's aim is to create a wealthy country and also a beautiful life, and that's its pledge to the people. He pointed out that the country has the resources needed for this purpose in plenty, and also the investment opportunities have also increased, he says. General Secretary of the JVP, Tilwan Silva, says that there is a possibility of waging attacks against Israeli tourists and the Hebrew believers in Sri Lanka. The government has received this information in advance. However, the government did not want to hold media briefings in this connection. The government does not want to show off such information. It is a matter of concern for the security forces. They have already made some arrests and taken measures to beef up security. Therefore, the government does not want to get unnecessary credit, since this is is its responsibility. The problem has been solved at present. Although there is a 3-member cabinet, it carries out the duties properly. The government cannot reduce taxes without a parliament. As all of you know, VAT has been imposed by an act of parliament. To reduce VAT, relevant act should be amended in parliament. Therefore, the government will be able to provide more relief to the people once it has formed a parliament. The government has pledged a wealthy nation and beautiful life for the people, and therefore the government will definitely be committed to fulfill this pledge.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Sandhana, Sajith Premadasa, says that the conducive era of the people will be created under good administration by implementing a strong economic policy. He made these remarks addressing a public rally held in Avisavela yesterday. This rally of the Samagi Jana Balavega and Samagi Jana Sandhana was held under the patronage of Sajith Premadasa. A group party supporters and many others were present at this rally. Leader of the Samagi Jana Sandhana, Sajith Premadasa, said that he pledges to control the price of goods. The SJB will form a government with strong economic policy by securing majority in parliament. In addition, for the well-being of 22 million people in the country, a conducive public administration will be set up. Measures will be taken to increase the ways of income for the people. The government mediates to solve burning problems of the people. Therefore, Sajith Premadasa requests the public to give the majority in parliament in order to create good future for the people.
General Secretary of the Frontline Socialist Party, that's Kumar Gunaratnam, says that since the people have rejected conventional politicians and appointed a new president, well, they also should change the conventional opposition as well. He made these remarks addressing a public rally held at Galigamur in Kegol yesterday. Well, this public rally has been organized under the title, Let's Change the Opposition. This was held to secure the victory of the candidates of the Jana Aragala Sandhane, who contest general election. The General Secretary of the Frontline Socialist Party, Kumar Gunaratnam, says that the United National Party, the Sri Lanka Chandrika's government, Good Governance regime and Rajapaksa governments, these parties always appeared for various previous governments and created a tragic economic collapse for the country. Therefore, all these parties should be held responsible for the disaster. Therefore, shall we change the old conventional system? People have already changed the system and elected the new president. Therefore, now the people should take a decision to reject all the political parties and the conventional opposition as well. Kumar Gunaratnam further says that the people should not let such party members become opposition in parliament.
Now, discussion between the representatives of the Government Medical Officers Association and Prime Minister Dr. Harini Ambrosuriya was held last evening at the Prime Minister's office. The Prime Minister focused her attention regarding the problems faced by doctors and the health system at this meeting. The government medical officers presented their future plan to maintain a better health service to the Prime Minister. Chairman of the GMOA, consultant physician Sanjeeva Tennakun, were present at this occasion. Meanwhile, Government Consultant Doctors Association also held a meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Harini Ambrosuriya. They focused attention on the problems faced by the consultant physicians who serve in government hospitals. Chairman of the association, ADKS Yasavardhana, and several others were present at this occasion. Representatives of the All Ireland Medical Officers Association also met Prime Minister yesterday. They enlightened the Prime Minister regarding digitalization of health services and the problems faced by the doctors and the entire health service. The Government Dental Surgeons Association also held discussions with Prime Minister Dr. Harini Ambrosuriya at her office yesterday. They focused attention on the problems of government dental surgeons and oral health service at this discussion. Chairman of the association, consultant dental surgeon Manjula Herath, and many others were present at this discussion. A multi-day fisheries vessel and a ship capable of storing fish in large amounts, improved using modern technology, was launched yesterday at the Dikovita harbour.
Well, the aim of this project is to minimize the post-harvest loss and also the production cost as well. Well, multi-day fishing vessels engaged in deep sea fishing activities are effectively responsible for the increase of harvest of fish. At present, about 3,000 vessels out of number of 6,000 of them catch tuna and a large species of fish using long line fishing method. These fish are being mainly exported, but sufficient environment to suitably secure fish for their qualitative export is sometimes not available at present. A multi-purpose vessel capable of bringing the catch to the shore by storing them under proper standards and temperature in the sea caught by fishermen, and a modified vessel with better fuel efficiency was also launched at the Decoita harbour. A ship which has been neglected without proper usage has been improved with the facilities available to treat sick fishermen as well.
President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake met several high commissioners and ambassadors in this country at the President's office today. South African High Commissioner Edwin Schalk met the President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake this morning. The High Commissioner presented the congratulations of the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, to the Sri Lankan President. The President engaged in a brief conversation with the High Commissioner on this occasion. The meeting between President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake and Ambassador of Myanmar, Malar Tahik, was held this morning. Extensive talks were held regarding the freeing of Sri Lankans in the custody of human smugglers in Myanmar. New Zealand High Commissioner David Pine also met the President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake, congratulating the President and the High Commissioner assured of continued assistance of New Zealand in building a strong economy and a fruitful administration. Ambassador of the European Union Carmen Moreno, along with a delegation of the European Union, met the President at the President's office today. The President detailed about the security situation in the country on this occasion. They were also informed of the steps taken regarding the security of the people and the tourists. European Union is a crucial partner of Sri Lanka and acts as the second largest export and tourist market while being the third largest export market. President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake also held a meeting with the ambassador of Iran in Sri Lanka, Dr. Alireza Delkhosh, at the President's office this morning. The congratulatory message of Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian was also presented to the Sri Lankan President.
Well, we now have more local news items in brief. Well, the court case in connection with the purchase of GI pikes belonging to the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, spending more than 980,000 rupees, was taken up today. Charge sheets against former Minister Keheli Rabukwella and 3 defendants have been handed over. Recording of witnesses started after the defendants declaring their innocence against the allegations. Accordingly, recording of witness of former Director of Marketing, Sanath Daluat of SLRC was conducted. The case will be taken up for hearing on the 21st of November. A petition has been forwarded to the Supreme Court today requesting an order rejecting nomination of Gampha district by former parliamentarian Ranjan Ramanayake from the United Democratic Voice Organisation. The petition has been filed by an independent candidate contesting from the Gampha district. It has also been requested by the petition that an order be issued stating Ranjan Ramanayake is not entitled for voting or representing Parliament. The first Secretary of the Embassy of Switzerland in Sri Lanka, Justin Boyle, says that the government of Switzerland expects to provide maximum cooperation for the development of the Eastern Province. She expressed these views at a meeting yesterday at the Trincomalee office of Professor Jayantalal Ratnasekara, the Governor of the Eastern Province. A workshop for media persons on child-friendly reporting was held yesterday at the National Child Protection Authority. The workshop was organized by the authority in collaboration with the Ministry of Mass Media and the Police. Sri Lanka Elections Commission has been able to win 2 awards at the National Award Ceremony on Information Technology 2024. Election e-Service Program received the award for the best information technology process in the public sector. The Elections Commission also received a silver in the overall assessment in public sector. Elections Commissioner General Samanchu Ratnayake and a number of officials participated in receiving the awards.
The CBG of China or Chongqing Broadcasting Group has agreed for a broad media cooperation with Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. Their representatives expressed these views in a discussion with the top management of SLRC yesterday. CBG is a huge media institution which is being operated in the Chongqing Metro Zone, the largest metro zone in China, which is also the government-owned broadcasting and telecasting institution. CGB institution, which operates 11 telecasting channels, 5 broadcasting channels and internet new media services broadcast program targeting foreign audience. They have decided to join with ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation, taking into consideration the national importance and the high qualitative media usage of it. The Deputy Chief Editor Shang Cheng Gang and a group of representatives who are on a visit in this country joined an inspection tour of the national television yesterday. In the discussion they had with the senior management and the chairman, they stressed their readiness for an exchange of program production and experience and training opportunities. The memorandum of understanding is to be signed soon in this regard.
The Deputy Director General of the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, Upali Ratnayaka, says that Sri Lanka is expecting 2.2 million tourist arrivals this year, and he further says that over 98,000 tourists arrived in the month of October up to now. And meanwhile, foreign tourists now in Sri Lanka say that they are really happy and comfortable with the situation and the facilities that have been offered.
Tourism is the most important industry in terms of foreign exchange earning. This year we are targeting at least 2.2 million tourists. So far we reached 1.6 million tourists with the income of 2.3 billion US dollars, whereas will be able to reach somewhere around 3.7 billion US dollar at the end of the year, which is an achievement where every stakeholder contribution for the development of the tourism as well as servicing to the tourists is very important, where we urge all the stakeholders, maybe the government organization as well as the private sector and the security, the contributors, or maybe the tourist police and other security arrangement, all are in favor, where the tourists are traveling everywhere now in destinations such as maybe Hikkaduwa, Unavatuna, Alla or Nuwara, Kandy, Sigiriya. Everywhere we can see the tourism. Both the culture and the nature is the biggest strength in tourism, where we collectively request everyone to take a tourism importance as well as the tourism as an industry. It gives us support for the development of our country as well as our people, and we are quite confident that every stakeholder take the spirit of the value of the tourism. And also the recent alert gave us a message that we need to secure the tourism, whereas in the past when the incident happened, so there is alert coming. This time there is an alert not to have an incident, which we take it positively. And finally, every one of us will take the responsibility as a country for tomorrow, our own guest protection as well as their benefit sharing to the country people. We work together so that we will have an achievement at the end of the year with the tourism, and year to come we will have better benefit next year. For this month, so far we got about almost 100,000 tourists, and we are targeting 10 to 15,000 this month, and which will be contributing to the with the growth of the season. And there is about 23,000 tourists came from India, and also about 6,500 tourists from UK, and whereas Russia, China, Germany follows, and out of the five major countries, 3 are from the Europe. We are doing very good with the European market, which is the expectation of our market, where the foreign currency as well as our conventional markets are growing. So that will be a achievement in tourism as we see as per today.
We're from Ireland. Great so far. The food's been very good. We did a lot of walking. I suppose Colombo's quite accessible. Enjoyed our time in Colombo and looking forward to see the rest of it. We're only here a little bit of time, so hopefully we'll get to experience a bit more time and a bit more cultural and local, activities while we're here. So yeah, very much looking forward to the rest of the 2 weeks. Yeah, well, we've never felt unsafe, so yeah, no problem.
I can say one thing about Sri Lanka is people. People are amazing. and what you learn when you come to Sri Lanka is really the realist way of life. Like, people really understood how to live life, and I really appreciate that. That's the only thing I can say. I love Sri Lanka so much. So
we are from Germany. I think it's important, and also I like the nature here in Sri Lanka. I just told Simona when we come here to the train station that the nature is so beautiful, also here in the city, and very green, very peaceful. So far, yes, we just arrived yesterday, but so far it's very cool, yeah. We are looking forward to the adventures that are coming up.
Well, that's news at home. Time for a short break. And we'll be back with international stories shortly.
Kamuda macang, prima kotumi, fantamai.
Now, Pakistan authorities says that militants armed with assault rifles and grenades attacked a security post in northwest Pakistan and killed 10 officers in an intense shootout. 3 other security force members were wounded in the overnight attack in Dera Ismail Khan, a district in Khyber province. It is reported that the assailants suffered casualties and they fled along with their dead and injured accomplices when authorities dispatched reinforcements in the security post in the town of Draban. Around 20 believed to be involved in the assault. Pakistan authorities in a statement paid tribute to the officers who were killed and offered his condolences to their families. The Pakistani Taliban, or Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, claimed responsibility for the attack in a statement and said it was a retaliation for the killing of senior leader Uzad Qureshi.
The India Met Department says that Cyclone Dana, which touched the Odisha coast as a severe storm around yesterday midnight, has completed its landfall. Well, the landfall process of severe Cyclone Dana took nearly 10 hours and is being seen as one of the slow-moving storms after it moved to land. With this, its intensity too has reduced to the normal cyclone category. As per the latest location updates, the storm was located 30 kilometers northeast of Badrak and 50 kilometers north to northwest of Dhamra. The Cyclone Dana is most likely to track northwestwards and move across Odisha today and further weaken into a deep depression towards evening.
Kotumi, fantamai.
Welcome back to the news, and we are moving on to sports news. Cricketing news. Sri Lanka A team has qualified for the finals of the Emerging Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament.
Sri Lanka A team won the semi-final match against Pakistan A team today by 7 wickets. The match was played at Amrate Stadium in Oman. Pakistan A team won the toss and decided to bat first. Accordingly, Pakistan team scored 135 runs for 9 wickets in their 20 overs. The highest scorer of Omir Yusuf got 68 runs in 46 deliveries. Any other player of the Pakistan team could not exceed 15 runs mark. Dushan Hemantha claimed 4 Pakistani wickets in his 4 overs. In reply, Sri Lanka passed the victory target of 136 runs for 3 wickets. Lahiru Udara scored 43 runs. Ashan Wickramasinghe not out 52. Accordingly, Sri Lanka A team has qualified for the finals of the Emerging Teams Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament. The final match will be played on the 27th of this month. And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel Eye. I'm the Lanjali together with Clifford signing off. Good night.
Good night.